Lisa and Robin are two fun friends diving deep into conversations where nothing is taboo. They believe in eating dessert before dinner and wearing the bikini. They're allergic to labels, authority, and cheap shoes. Currently, they're launching themselves through life being the good time, bold enough to take risks and inquisitively asking, what's next? They hail from New Hampshire, but they could be anywhere dressed in cute clothes. If they had to share a tombstone, it would read, "Curiosity killed these cats." Your hosts, Lisa and Robin on the mic.
Welcome to Lisa and Robin on the mic. You are listening on WSMN 1590 AM, 95.3 FM. You can watch, stream, and listen on WSMN.live as well as YouTube. Happy New Year. We hope you are up, only slightly hungover. You're getting your act together.
All right, so I have
You've
a
had your
question.
coffee.
I have a question. What is your...
You got to go way closer to the mic. I don't think they can hear you.
I have a question.
I'm ready.
What is your biggest... What would be your biggest takeaway from 2025? What was your biggest reflection? Like, if you had to reflect back and being like, oh, this was my... Just, what's your biggest takeaway?
My takeaway for me personally is I never break down things enough into smaller enough steps. All my plans are to, unless it involves like a certain thing, a certain couple of things, they're all too big. And that I don't break things down far enough to have small enough steps, because I don't think I have enough small enough wins, because I'm only judging like huge milestones and huge deadlines. I'm not breaking it down enough so I could be like, good, that's checked off. And I felt so much relief when I finished the book. Like, I felt like I let out my breath that I had been holding my breath for years. That's what I felt like. And I felt like I could finally breathe. I finally had this, like, it was occupying so much mental space for me. And it was a looming deadline that I couldn't, like, it was ruling my life in a way. It was never not there. Where if I had broken it down into much smaller steps, I could have in my head checked off pieces of them, instead of this whole time had the published cookbook as the...
So you're looking at the whole cookbook instead of saying, hey, for the next month, I'm only going to work on the index, or for the next couple of weeks, I'm only going to do proofreading and do this.
Yes. Everything was always published book as the goal, and I was never there, and it also made it feel so long.
But do you feel like when you get, it's daunting?
I do that to a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I think we all do to some places, that we forget to break it down, and we see the end goal, and we don't, instead of breaking it down piece by piece, step by step. And I feel like we attach success or failure to it, and I feel like if we don't make progress, then it feels like we're failing ourselves. Do you ever feel like that?
Or that you're disappointed in yourself.
But then when you get disappointed in yourself, I feel like for me, when I get to that point, it pauses me. It makes me stop. Like, I have a hard time. It's almost like a writer's block. It's hard to go forward.
It makes you procrastinate more, because you're like, I'm a loser. I'm procrastinating.
It's dread. We've attached dread and punishment to it.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Yes. And I wish I wasn't operating myself as a tyrant.
Yeah.
Like, it's sort of like, almost like, it's almost as if, and it's not that I'm not being nice to myself. It's just that if I had broken up the parts, I could have celebrated smaller things.
Yeah.
And felt the progress that I had made to get from A to B.
And felt accomplished, instead of being overwhelmed.
Instead of being, you still haven't finished this. You still haven't finished this. You still haven't finished this.
Instead of it being exciting, now it's like a burden. It's a chore.
Well, it was a never-ending to-do list, and a deadline that never... It was like a looming deadline.
Yeah.
That it was looming, but I was flying by it at the same time. So it had this weird dichotomy or duality of being both
Well,
things
it's
at the
almost
same
like you
time.
feel like stuck, but like time. It's like you are aware that time is passing fast, but yet you're still stuck.
in
It's
slow.
like you can't move. Yes,
Like stuck in mud. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if I could have taken away anything from that project, it was you don't break things down into small enough steps.
Yeah.
And also I'm aware that I might not know my blind spots, and because I'm aware that I might not know my blind spots, I circle myself a million times looking for a blind spot.
Mm.
Now, what about you? What is your biggest takeaway from 2025?
Well, that was good too. Like, because that reminded me, like, I need to do that. My biggest takeaway 2025 taught me is that I need to breathe. That I need to manage stress, and like I need to focus on me. Like I need to focus on, I need to my mental well-being, and I think we all do that. I think that's not selfish. I don't think it's arrogant. I think that literally the world is operating. Our life is our life. And I think that our world was created to revolve around us and who we let into it. So whether you're a giver, it doesn't mean that you have to be. To me, I don't think that. I said that to somebody the other day, and that's like so selfish. Like the world does not revolve around you. Like your world absolutely revolves around you and the people that you've put in your life. Your children, your spouse, your friends, your family, all of these, they're all yours. Well, you're theirs too. But it's your house, it's your job, it's your life. Your life does revolve exactly around you and nobody else. Because I don't know what, John Smith's doing, 2 doors down. His life doesn't have anything to do with mine. But yet we're living our life in he has a whole different world than I do. And so I just think that it's funny. 3 different spiritual people, like, a shaman, one who is a healing, in meditation, guidance. All 3 of these people that I did not know prior told me to breathe in the last couple of years. It's been, 3 years now since I've heard that word coming. And so my biggest takeaway for 2025 is, and by breathing, I mean manage stress. Take care of yourself, making sure that you are getting, that your oxygen mask is on, that you're taken care of, maintaining that my needs, my wishes, what I need.
And
my
I
health.
think it's interesting because we say at the beginning of our show, our listeners have listened to it every time they listen to our show, we don't like labels, but we wear labels, as we all do, right? We just don't like ours.
Yeah.
We don't like being boxed in.
Well, trying to be aware of it and change your label.
But when you wear the label of mother and wife, and there's a certain element, because I have a girlfriend and we say this all the time to each other. Like I remind her of this because I don't have children, so she doesn't say it back to me, but she says it when I have a friend who has a problem. You are as unhappiest as your unhappiest child. That when I was growing up, possibly when you were growing up too, my parents my happiness wasn't their primary concern.
Correct.
Their concern was, are you fed? Are you clothed? Is there a roof over your head?
Are you alive? And if you're home on time?
If you're alive.
Did you get your homework done?
If you're alive and like core things were done.
Yeah.
Everything else they really weren't concerned about. And they
I don't
expected
think they
you to be
knew
unhappy.
enough to have emotional, like, to like, hey, I need to nurture this little person emotionally.
And they weren't doing that because it wasn't done to them. And it was a different
Right.
time. They weren't talking about psychiatric. Like, it was, you wouldn't go talk about
You
your
didn't
problems.
fit into the family. You went away.
Yeah. You didn't. We didn't talk to you for 3 years. Till you
Psych
got back
ward.
to it. No, till you got back to it. That's why there was so much estrangement. And even, but like from the standpoint of, because we didn't have that, it was almost like our generation, we gave our children everything.
Yeah.
And then one of the things I see you do is you have these ideas, or you talk about things for launching yourself in a lot of ways. But if one of your kids is unhappy for any minute of any day, in any text message or anything, you immediately put them in front of whatever you were going to do for yourself.
Yeah. But I feel like that's true that I do that for all of my people.
You do.
I
do it for all your people.
I do it for Chris. I do it for
But at what point?
right.
Because everyone's an adult. You're not doing it
Right.
anymore when they're 4.
And I think that that's what my focus has been, is like, I need to, my body is telling me, if you don't change, if you don't do this, if you don't take care of you, if you don't breathe,
There's a consequence.
Yes. And it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like thinking about like age and your life, and still in the mindset of not be restricted by it. But I kept thinking about how I feel at my age. I feel how I feel at my age. And I feel like the inside of me, or my mind, my energy feels like I would still be 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about that, people that are in their 70s, and I think about people that are in their 80s. They must not feel like, do you feel 80? Like, I've never felt my age in my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Never. 21 when you got carded, like, okay, that was probably it. But that's the outside universe. I always still feel like, I'm at 52. I'm still texture sensitive. I'm still picky about foods. And I do think about, am I going to spit that out?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Can I pee in that alleyway? I
Right.
mean, I just still, still have like a lot of my childhood self inside of me. So I think about how, like, I try to take care of myself. I've been thinking that I try to take care of myself. I exercise. I eat well. I try to get, a good amount of sleep. I try to take care of my mind, my body. But at the same time, look at how it's betrayed me.
Because I think when you say betray, I thought the same thing when my body was doing that. Is like, what part of this is? It's like, how is my body betraying me? And I remember being in yoga distinctly hearing you were betraying it.
Yes.
Like, you're not taking care of it.
So that's the breathe, is getting to that point of, instead of changing my perspective that my body betrayed me, that I have not been taken care of, I've betrayed my body.
One of the things for our listeners, anyone who has a heart problem, right? Our heart is our energetic center in a lot of ways, right? Our heart is another brain. It connects with our brain.
Mm-hmm.
And our heartbeat, they've learned, can literally has an energetic field of upwards of 6 feet around us, right?
Yeah.
And if you consider broken-hearted syndrome, people die of broken hearts, literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally.
Yes.
So not only is your heart the mechanical, for lack of better word, pump so that you can stay alive, it is your energetic center.
Yeah.
It is your spiritual center.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was looking at hard things, it's like, okay, I'm doing everything I can possibly do to fix this. But then it also started to, the energetic piece and the spiritual piece came in. And it was like, okay, I need to actually get into praying more.
Yeah, getting the mind. And you know what's funny? I think we talked about this when we talked about Nick doing a mantra about where Joe Dispenza was healed himself. He was car accident. Was it spinal injury?
Yep.
Spinal injury. And I can't remember how long it was before he could walk. But a lot of doctors said that he could never walk again. And he would do these meditations, and he has meditations online that he was going to heal himself. And I had just started, so the first trip to the emergency room, and then things got better. Like, I started doing these little mantras over and over again. This last trip to the emergency room, I'm like, okay, I really need to do this. I need to really focus my energy. I need to concentrate my energy and my efforts. So not only am I going to say it, I need to feel it and I need to believe it. And I was just saying, I am healthy, I am whole, I am healed.
Mm-hmm.
And then so I kept saying these mantras over, and I'm like, it's not working. I'm still feeling like I have these episodes and these things. And I'm like, I'm saying it, but the words are empty. They're empty because there's no belief in it. It's almost just sounds hollow. It's like this repetition, kind of just this mantra, but there's no actual belief to it. And I'm like, every time that I've gotten something that I've tried to manifest, it's been the belief that has drawn it to me. And I'm like, I'm operating on an empty tank. And so I started putting belief to it and feeling like I am whole, I am healed, I am healthy. And so I just happened to, my heart was racing one day and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go do that 10-minute, what's the,
the Andrew Huberman one?
Yeah.
The deep rest.
10-minute deep rest, Andrew Huberman, check it out. It does make you feel so much better. So after that, I feel like I wasn't quite finished. I still wanted to do some meditating. So I did one of his Joe Dispenza's guided meditations. And when he starts doing his mantra, he's like, I am healthy, I am whole, I am healed. And I was like, oh my God. Is that something that I picked up like way back? Because that's been like almost 5 years, I think, since I read his book.
But it stayed with you.
Yeah. And I was like, wow. And so I do feel like I'm having less and less episodes and feeling like I'm going to beat this.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we have that determination that we do abuse our bodies. I don't think we spend enough time taking care of ourselves.
I think the system in which we live today, our society, our culture, is in so many ways, I'm not pretending in any way, shape, or form I want to go back to 1800 or 1900. Honestly, I don't. I'm so glad I don't sleep outside. I'm so glad I don't piss outside. I am so glad I don't have to kill my own food, by attacking it in the woods. I am so, there's so much of society that I absolutely love. But we have sped up as a society. We have sped up time, not necessarily the globe spinning, although they said something happened that changed like 0.06 seconds
spinning,
on our Earth spinning. But regardless, just my I don't even know if that's true.
It's going to knock me off my balance.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's fact checked. It was an internet thing. But anyways, but the feeling of our lives has sped up. Yeah. When I think about, sometimes I'll be doing something. My mother wouldn't even go to parent-teacher conference night. My mother went once.
I don't think my parents did either.
And my mother was like, so my kid got all A's. Like, I'm in first grade or whatever it is, right? My kid got all A's and you're having a conversation with me. Like, I'm not going. Yeah. Like, she was just like, I'm not going. And so I think of my mother sometimes trying to handle something that I'm navigating in today's world. And I can't tell you how many times I've gone to do something, and if they make me create a login and a password, I just don't do it.
Yeah, I get that.
Right? I'm out. I'm out of passwords. I'm done. I'm out. I don't care. If you want me to buy it, make a QR code. I'll buy it directly.
And the minute you want me to put my email in, is you're going to spam me, and I don't want your spam. I just want to get in. I want to get out. Give me the information.
Everything is just. So this is something that came. Someone owes me money, so they said we only pay in Zelle. We only pay in Zelle. I didn't know that. No problem. My bank has Zelle. I'm trying to go online and do it. Yes, your bank has Zelle. I'm trying to go do it online. I'm there for like 2 hours. And I think to myself, what would my mother do? My mother would never spend 2 hours online
Write me
trying
a
to
check.
get this. So I called the bank for help, and they're like, yeah, business accounts don't take Zelle. So here's a business paying me, another business, and it can't pay me to my business account. Right? Long story short, what? Just send a check. How many hours?
Right.
A check. And the other thing that's really pissed me off.
I think that's it. Sorry.
The thing that's pissed me off more than anything is now everyone has to charge you for credit card fees because credit card fees have gotten so out of control. You know what? Go back to taking cash.
Yeah.
Some businesses don't take cash, but then charge you the credit card fee. As a realtor, they don't mail you any bills anymore for 9 months. And so your bills due this quarter. Every other day you're getting hey, you're owed this thing. And you put it off because you're like, well, it's not due for 90 days.
Yeah.
And then you're like late by a day because you've been seeing the stupid email that you've been deleting every day. And you have to go online. No one will take a check. You can only do it on credit card. And now we're going to charge you no longer the credit card fee, but the online payment fee of $4. You know what? I used to mail a check for this, and it was the cost of the check and the 58 cents for the stamp.
Yeah.
I just feel like energetically we're all dealing with a lot.
It's because they
We
can.
were
It's
told
like
no.
gouging.
Let's go back.
Credit card?
We were told that all this online stuff was going to make payment easier.
Right.
You're going to not have to have an accounting department. Of course, you're going to have an accounting
Right.
department. You're going to not have to have this. You're not going to have to create checks. Well, we're all still doing the same thing. It takes us twice as long to do it. It literally takes me twice as long. And some people say, well, you should automate everything. I don't know how everyone's automating everything.
I don't want
My
to
life
automate.
doesn't work that way. But back to
I don't want
back to
people,
our
maybe
hearts.
that's old school. I don't want people keeping my credit card information on there.
and automatically charging me because sometimes you do it on Friday because the first falls on a Sunday, but
Yeah.
everything else got paid on the Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't want to deal with it. And I want control over my money as long as I want control
Yeah.
over my money. But also, this was back to the heart thing. We have sped ourselves up so much. We have made life so frustratingly complicated. The most simple thing.
Yeah.
We have been writing checks for 100 years. We've been using the post office
Right.
for 100 years. We have made the most simple thing complicated.
Yeah.
And the only people who's going to change that is us.
You
The
know,
only
it seems
people who
like
can
they could
change
do
that
a
is us.
thing like you could do a mobile app because you can screenshot a check and deliver it to the bank. Like you can mobile deposit. There's got to be some kind of a system that you can do checks even electronically.
So
back
part
and
of the
forth
problem
to-
is everybody wants their system because they have their software.
yes,
And I did this with my HOA payment. We can only take payment. We no longer accept check payment. You can only pay online, and then they charge you to pay online.
that's so ridiculous. See, that's why I feel like that's like
But
because where does it stop?
but the whole point of it is that's so aggravating. We're talking about our hearts. How
Right.
many times can you be frustrated in a day?
Right.
How many times?
With little things, and you let that build up, and then
think-
you have then you have issues with your
And
family
then your
or
spouse
your
says
friends
something,
or-
and you're
yes.
like, and your spouse is like, I don't need that attitude. I could use a smile, right? But like, why are you taking it out on me? And so, but we're doing this perpetually, all of us.
yes, yes,
7 billion
yes.
people, or however many people are on the
Yeah.
planet. Collectively, it's just a lot.
Yeah.
We've sped up our lives.
Yeah.
So when I think about going back to the heart, we are going all the way back.
all the way back.
All the way back to the relationships with ourselves and everything. How can I kind of calm this down? How can I bring calm into my life and peace into my life and still operate in a society that is operating unpeacefully?
I think you have to be the change. I think we all have to be the change individually for ourselves. In order to change our world, we have to change something about it. And so going back to the heart, but also when we're talking about how much we take on stresses of the outside world, it goes back to that bumper sticker I was telling you about months ago on here, where, you know, the little boy's peeing on, you know, the Ford thing, and the guy's driving a Chevy. And like, yes, it sends a message, but it's also sending your message. You are resonating with that angry energy. So go by, look at, so every time I read nasty bumper stickers and stuff, I'm like, oh, that's funny because I am sarcastic. But am I that passionate enough about that message that I'm going to stick it to my car?
No.
No, but that means you're holding energy for it. You're holding that much energy for whether you want to be rude to somebody in the grocery store or you want to cut somebody off. Like you just think about these like the little micro things that, wow, that's an indicator that I'm holding negative energy. Or the fact that you
All
want to
the
be
time.
a keyboard warrior, like with somebody that you don't know, that you want to respond and say a crappy message to somebody on Instagram or on Facebook. You want to fight with a stranger that you don't know. Hey, that's a knock on the forehead to say you're holding some bad energy in your body and you're trying to get it out on somebody else. Like, dude, do you really want to be that miserable?
Yeah, so I think when I think about like the heart and everything, I think, how do we bring more peace into our lives that we've been promised one thing, they've never delivered the promise,
Right.
but they keep shoving it, and it's like someone promising to give you cake, and they're giving you liver, and you're like, no, this isn't cake, this is liver, and they're shoving it in your mouth, and you're like, but it's not, and you're trying
Well,
to
the
throw
change
it up.
comes when you just say, hey, you know what? I'm not getting cake from this person ever.
Yeah.
And then so we have to change inside.
but I'm not
So
going
it's
to
like-
pay any of my bills. I'm not going to do like
Well, that would be nice.
that's
But-
that's
But
the
if you
part
think
that
about more people said, no, I'm not going to pay online with a credit card. It was like, it's the same thing. And maybe that's, when they do the boycotting, like, hey, everybody, let's not buy gas on,
yes.
September 12th, and let's do that. I actually believe that there's some kind of truth into that. If people
I believe
start
we vote
saying,
with our dollars all the time.
but people just don't want to do it because they're like, it's easier to work the system than it is to do that. No, if you actually put pressure back on the government or back on these people to say, no, I'm not going to pay the $4 credit card. I'm not going to pay it. And if, how many of your customers don't pay their bill on that day, you've got no more money. You don't have that money coming in. So this is one of the things, just a rant. I don't like the way that Irving does their billing, because their bill comes out the day that your bill is due. And our new bank switched over. So you have to go in. Sometimes it takes, like, some companies it will clear and you can do it the next day. But when I do bill pay through my bank, with the new bank that the turnover, I think there was a little bit of a delay and stuff. So now Irving keeps telling me that I'm 2 months behind, and I'm not. I'm actually, it hasn't caught up. So each time it catches up, but the next billing cycle goes out because it was held the 17th or whenever it was due. It was on a Saturday. It didn't get processed, but it had that 3-day holding period. Like I couldn't pick it to be on that day. So now I've since learned, hey, if I'm going to pay it and it's due by this, I need to log in and pay it 4 days earlier. Instead
And
of
the whole point of the online was this instantaneous thing. That was
Yes.
my point about the promise.
But so what
But
happened
don't you
is,
think we're all in agreement that the promise isn't being delivered, and we're all pissed?
right, but they're like, you do it this way, it's so much easier. So I finally got it. We finally got it. I'm like, can't you just go in and manually correct it? And she's like, no, it's the billing system, blah, 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 blah. Well, at the end of the year, they owed me $3,000 because we were on a like a budget thing. It's budgeted out for the year to say this is what, and try to get your money back from that. They want your money and they won't fix their bill pay, and they tell you almost all year long that you're not. Now you owe me $3,000 and you won't give it back to me.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like that,
That's talking about stress.
the amount of
You don't care about
aggravation.
Yeah.
So how did online fix this accounting problem? How did that fix your, I think,
How did it make my life better? It
I-
didn't.
I don't think our little tiny radio show in Nashua, New Hampshire, that has 6,196 people watching on WSMN.live. All of us. Let's start a movement. But
So,
but
yeah.
my whole thing was like the promise of AI. So
Yeah.
this is another thing. I just want you to pay attention, because then when people are telling you AI is going to ruin your life and you're going to be homeless and destitute
Yeah.
because AI took your job, which some of it is,
Yeah.
sure, but some of it is not. Think of this. So I went on and I'm like, it's the end of the year. I'm going to buy all my vitamins again. I'm going to do all of this stuff. So I go online on my computer and I do my purchase. For the next week, I start getting ads for every single thing I just purchased. Why are you paying to advertise to somebody who's already a customer,
Yeah.
who already purchases your
Yeah.
products? And why are you paying to
Yeah.
advertise after I've purchased it? I just purchased it. Remind me in 30 days,
Right.
right?
Right.
Then
Because
I've
you
gotten-
could set your algorithm up to do that.
You
could
could set-
spam everybody in 30
you can
days.
spam me right before I'm going to run out, which would be the intelligent time
Yes.
to spam me.
Yes.
right?
Not every day, 10 times a day.
Not the day after I purchase for the next 7 days. That doesn't make any sense. I just purchased it and I'm not going in and purchasing it again in the next 7 days, right? And then I have been thinking about Masterclass for a while, but I didn't want to do anything in 2025 because I was like, I got to finish my book. No new projects until this project is done, right? Well, the end of the year, I'm like, oh, I'm going to go on. I go online, not from any ad. I just go online. I have been getting Masterclass ads after I purchased a year's subscription.
Yeah.
And every day I go into Instagram and say, I've already purchased this, so stop sending it to me.
Yeah.
And it says, we'll try to stop those ads. Every single day I get a Masterclass ad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, So this is the AI. We're all terrified.
It's not even correct because, I know. We get bombarded, and think about spam. You talk about email, and you think about being bombarded with things outside world. Spam is such a perfect place for that. In the promotions, like I hate having the icon that I've got 18 emails, 20 emails or whatever. I go in and there's a promotion for a Toyota. I've never owned a Toyota. I will never own a Toyota. Well, I should say never, but likely in my mind, my conscious. If I
It's
have
like a Kia. I'm getting something, but I'm not getting that.
I'm not going to get a Toyota. I've never had a Toyota. I'm not going to get one. I've even gone in to block them, and Google says you will never see this ad again. Guess what shows up the next day?
Yeah.
But it's like we're constantly being bombarded by junk, and spam is that. And even though you go, and I'm like, all right,
But someone's paying
you've
for that
irritated
junk.
me enough that I'm going to go in and I'm going to block you, and then it shows up. And I'm like, no, AI is not that good. If you're intelligent, you should actually get something that's going to keep me on my page. Chris bought 2 golf clubs online for Jonah for Christmas, and he literally showed me his 20 emails in one day. Do you want golf lessons? Do you want this? You should get this. If you just purchase this, you need to get this and this and this and this. And I'm like, they won't stop.
Mm-hmm.
But you think about how much the whole world is like that. In those commercials, you need your prescription, you need this, you need that, you need this, and it's bombarded. You need to eat this, you need to do that. Like, no.
Well, I think if we understood, so I was on this leadership podcast, and the person said, our listeners are really worried. What would you say to them? I said that we are the AI. If AI is learning from us, we are the AI.
Yeah.
We have to educate this algorithm, or we have to fix this because this isn't working.
Right.
I can't be the only one.
Right.
Right.
That's why I think if people just said, hey, you know what, I'm going to take a stand. I'm not going to pay the $4 credit card thing. I'm not going to do this. This is ridiculous. I'm not going to do, I'm not going to take on more to make their life easier. And that's what it's doing. That's what we're doing.
But I don't even think it's making anything easier. I think
I'm getting your money plus I'm getting $4.
Well, but
it is easier from
so and there's someone listening. There's 100 people listening, being like, "Who cares about $4?" Times 100,
right?
Times 12 months a year that I didn't have to pay before.
Right.
I'm a very principled person. I remember back when Zillow first came on the scene, and I was a realtor, and I was required to put things into MLS. I pay for MLS. But Zillow gets to take the information I pay for and deliver it, right?
Yeah.
But when it's wrong, I'm fined $100 every day for so many days. Then I'm fined $1,000 if it's wrong. Zillow can have it wrong on their website. There is no repercussion. Wow. So I called the GMNBR board, and I said, why is there no human being to fix it on Zillow? I put it in the system properly. It's showing improperly. My seller's seeing it on this on like the internet improperly. I'm taking flack. There's no human being to call. Do we really want to we really need to have a better partnership if they're going to buy our fees or whatever? And he goes, it sounds like you have a philosophical issue.
Wow.
The head of, at the time, it was like 2014 maybe.
Wow.
And most of the stuff technically is philosophical issues. How are we setting up our society? How are we setting up rules that you can fine me?
Yeah.
$1,000. If 3 days in a row you tell me it's wrong and I don't fix it, it's $1,000. Zillow never has to fix it.
Well, it's because it's the same thing with medical bills. They make it so confusing to pay in like insurance. And I actually was like listening to when I was working at the lab, I would hear so many senior citizens that would come in and they just pay their bill because they don't understand. And I'm like, no, this is a statement. And she's like, but it looks like a bill. And I'm like, it's not. And I'm like, if you look in the tiny little lines, they make it so confusing. And they make it confusing and they make it stressed out because there's so many times that more people will just pay it than not. Like an example, I have the business office from the hospital calling me. They call at least 3 times a week, but it's always an inconvenient time. I'm not there. They leave a voicemail. I have tried to call them back, and I get an animated, an AI person saying, "What can I help you with? I need your medical record number." And I said, "I'm returning a phone call." It literally will go through this thing and it won't transfer me to a human being. It hangs up on me every time. And I'm like, you know what? It's your problem. I'm not going to hold it. Like, if the business office wants to get in touch with me, then you will change it so that I can talk to another
I can
human
call you
being,
back.
or that I can call you back. I've done it like
But
8
that's
times
that's
now,
the
and I'm like,
part
I'm
that I
not carrying
mean.
the stress.
All
You're
of
either
this
going to, I'm going
time-
to force you to give it to the mail or serve me a warrant. I mean, I don't know.
No, that and
it's by
that's,
lab results.
and
but-
that's my point. You're breaking things that were fixed.
yeah.
We used to be able to return a phone call.
Well, the thing is, we're trying to get rid of paying people for it. So, we're trying to get rid of humanity, and bit by bit, let's go
Right.
to AI and let's get rid of the human touch.
And that's why I think in the
And
future,
we'll charge you $4 for it.
I think there will be a push and you will make money by AI not doing things right.
Yes.
For everyone who's like, oh no, there's going to be a way because people are not going to want to deal with something, or there's going to be another fix, because they keep saying that
Well, you make
The
it so
co- the f-
frustrating. They're like, "Yep, you can do
fixing
it
a
for me."
computer problem is just more computers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
I'm not buying it.
Right.
I'm not buying it.
But you think about how many times there's self-checkouts. How many times have we, even in our day-to-day life, that we've seen that we have less and less interaction with humans, people, because there's computer technology can do it every time you go to the grocery store.
But see, they
you know.
said, oh, and it fixed it. No, you just made the job mine.
Yeah.
So that was one of the tantrums I threw when I had a nervous breakdown
Yeah.
in the last couple of weeks.
At Whole Foods.
No,
The
I was in my
eggs.
house. I was in my house.
That's home.
Was because something happened and they were like, you fix it. And I'm like, can someone be a professional? Do I have to be the professional
Yeah.
in every single solitary
Yeah.
industry across
Yeah.
industries?
Yeah.
Like, no one, why don't you just call me on the phone and be like, we don't know how to get Starlink to launch. Could you come here? You
Right.
do it. Like, I feel like everything is like, you do it. And I appreciate a professional
Yeah.
that does their job. I appreciate you having expertise. Stop making me the expert in everything or my job to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
That's my
Yeah.
2026 wish for
Yeah.
us. We don't have to be the experts in everything. That would be my 2026 wish for us.
No, but people are trying to. Put
I'm
that
actually
on you.
really putting that out there.
And
for
I
all
actually
our
think about
listeners.
how I think about like some of the elderly people, and we have a friend of ours who's thank God he's in an opportunity to take care of his parents, but when our parents or when our grandparents when their health starts declining and medical bills come in, they're going to the emergency room, there's no way for them to navigate that. I'm at my age, and I've been in the healthcare system. I used to do insurance for a doctor's office for 5 different and it was it wasn't as confusing then, but you had real people. There's no advocates for these guys, and like if they don't understand their bill, and so what do? Just you send them to collections, and if they're don't understand how to pay, you either send them to collections or you take all their money. They either don't know how to pay it and don't know how to navigate it, or they just say, here's my card, and with no understanding.
Yeah.
Like there's not a lot of compassion and humanity left. There is in a lot of different ways in the world. I think that there's a lot of good people and good things coming, but I feel like we're fighting a beast.
Yeah. And this was all trying to get to your question about the heart thing.
I know, right?
So sorry.
Takes about the heart.
Oh my goodness.
So my year was breathing.
Yes.
Breathe.
But also
Don't take on all that stuff.
for our hearts, we need to look at the tangent we digressed on, right? My fault, obviously. I started that.
No way.
Sorry.
No.
But it's because if I notice this in myself, then I have to notice it for my friends and my spouse and my family and collectively. And I was somewhere and I knew someone was throwing a tantrum, and I thought, oh, they just had enough. They've had their fill.
Yeah.
Like there's only so much they can hold it together. And this is
Yeah.
off. And if we could remember that in our interactions with each other,
Yes. Yes.
maybe we could right the ship of being aggravated when someone doesn't answer a text message in 10 seconds. Because I'm in the supermarket and it's like a Faraday cage in there.
Yeah. Especially
Have you-
Shaw's, there's like a dead zone.
No, every single supermarket, I swear. I try to like, are these the cookies that so-and-so likes? And then
Right.
you don't hear anything. It's because,
Or you see the
you go to
little
the
line
car and you
just
get it.
barely moving.
but we have to remember we sped up life, but it's too fast for us now.
Yeah.
It's a little too fast to feel comfortable, I think.
So I think like I'm going to focus on 2026, and I hope you guys will think about it too. Slowing down and thinking about what's truly important to you. Like what brings you joy? How in 2026 can you bring more joy into your life? I know we just went on this whole rant about little things that irritate
So I
us in
know
the
what
outside
brings
world.
me joy.
What clothes, outfits?
Music.
Yes.
Really good music.
Comedy shows.
Laughter. Comedy. This show brings me joy. I hope it brings
Yes.
you joy.
Experiences. Traveling.
Mm-hmm.
I think even though there's not a lot of restaurants, I'm like, there's a lot of traffic.
What's going on over here?
I don't know. We got 2 cops coming.
It's early, guys. Poor
Right.
poor
Well, at least
cops.
hey, they passed us, so they're not coming after us. It's a good thing.
Stop talking about
Finding
AI
more
on the
joys.
radio.
I think experiencing. I love being outdoors.
Oh, that was another thing. Like spirituality. One of the things I knew, like I have to pray a little bit more, but also have to make sure I'm stopping to connect with nature more.
Yeah.
That is really, I think, loneliness is tough on the heart. I
Yeah.
have a girlfriend, her husband died, and she was dating this guy for a while, and they broke up, and it's my heart really, I really have to pay attention to like how much time is she spending alone and all of that
Yeah.
stuff. And in the winter, she's not able to go out in nature. You know,
Yeah.
she gardens and does all that stuff, but not in the winter. So the more we can take care of each other in this time period,
Yeah.
it would be better because we're all kind of stuck indoors. We're all kind of
I even think that
stuck in
outdoor.
that.
I don't think that you can be outside and not feel
connected.
like and connected. I think you have to spend a little bit more than just walking to the door. But like
Mm.
if you actually just sat outside, force yourself to sit outside in 10 minutes, I do think that you would have a change.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't help but not to take in the trees, the leaves blowing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yesterday I was having my coffee. And I was
You know when
looking
you
out-
step outside and your nostril hairs freeze?
Yes. Yes.
That's nature.
yes. That is nature.
Embrace nature.
But so yesterday I noticed all these little birds were out flying around, and I was like, wow, I haven't seen birds in a while. But they're like right outside the door in the little pine tree, and I'm like, it must be just warm enough, and the snow is kind of falling off. But
Mhm.
like of course the cats are like, let me out, Mom.
Yeah.
Like I was like, wow, it's life coming. And I'm literally just walking by the door, and I'm like, so we have turkeys that roost in the trees across the street from the front of our house. And literally this morning, I'm walking down the steps and I'm looking out the window, and I'm like, I saw this brown blob just fall, and I was like,
Ooh.
what was that? Could it be a baby? I don't think they had babies, but I couldn't see over the berm, and I'm like, maybe later I'll go. And I'm like, no, I don't want it to be a dead turkey.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was like you could definitely see it had like there's no leaves over there, and it didn't see. It just
When they
seemed like
roost, do they roost in a nest?
they roost up in the trees, like in a
But do they make a nest or are they just
I don't think
lying
so.
on branches?
like when we watch it, they're lying on branches.
Okay, so
when
it's
we
not
watch
like a
them
nest
go
fell
in
out.
and roost at night. So
Okay.
and you'll see them like throughout the evening, kind of go a little bit higher and higher. But I don't think they actually make nests.
Okay.
Maybe for the babies, but I've just seen them. You can just kind of look up and you see these big old black spots in the trees, and I'm like, wow, I never knew.
Mm.
But boy, the other day we
You
saw
know what I
them-
want to know? What do the bats do in the winter?
I don't know.
I'm going to now go out and pay attention. Are there bats flying around right now? Because I see the bats all summer long.
I don't know if bats hibernate.
Let's
Do
look,
they?
let's Google. Do bats hibernate
Because I'm like, do they?
in
would
New
they,
Hampshire?
would they stay in? Or maybe it just gets dark so early that we don't see them.
Yes, bats hibernate in New Hampshire. Many of our summer bats actually migrate to caves
Oh.
in nearby states like Vermont, Massachusetts, New York for the winter, as New Hampshire lacks enough suitable, stable hibernacular.
Habunaculars.
Hibernacular.
So
That's
there's
a
no
word.
place. So we must not have enough cave. Vermont has more caves than we do.
So species like the big brown bat may hibernate in buildings or rock crevices within New Hampshire, while the little brown bats and northern long-eared bats historically hibernate in New Hampshire mines, but
Wow.
now are severely impacted by white noise syndrome. Oh, poor babies. So I sold a house.
Wow.
Random side note. I sold a house in Hudson and it was tenant occupied for about 10 years. And we go to sell it and he's like, hey, we have bats upstairs, like a big bat problem. I go, oh, did you notify your landlord? He's like, no. I'm like, okay. I lift up the attic. No exaggeration. Hundreds of bats like you could see their little
But
upside
isn't there,
down
like,
on
guano
the
and stuff? That's
eaves.
got to smell to high heaven.
And the whole thing was filled, right? So I'm like, oh no.
Did any of them come out?
No, not at that moment. They were all literally like little tiny, like vampire bats, right?
That would freak
So
me out.
I call the state. You know, how do you deal with bats? They're like, there's nothing you can do until September because you got to wait for all those babies to fledge, and then you can close it up and fix it. So we
How
had
do
to
you
like
close it up and fix it?
because
How
they
do
were
you get 'em
getting in
out?
through the eaves. They were getting in through the eaves.
Yeah, but you have to make sure all of them get out.
Yes, and they do when their babies are out. Like there was this very specific date in September that after that they'll leave with their babies. You block it up. But I was like, oh, we should put bat houses out in the yard because I learned so much in the
Yeah.
process. They're
Yeah.
actually a protected species
Yes.
in New Hampshire because they eat over 2,000 mosquitoes a night
Yes,
per
actually, they
bat.
are cool. I used to not like bats, but
Ever
we
since
had
I
a
learned
bat.
about them, I've loved them.
So we had a bat in our house, up in our attic, and we could see it go in and out, in and out. So we waited.
This
one
house or
night.
the other one?
No, this was in Deering,
Okay.
and you could see it go in and out every night. And we watched. I think it was like 2 of them, 2 or 3 that we could see go in and out. And we waited till all 3 of them went out, and he goes up and puts screens in the
Mhm.
eaves, and never had another problem
Yeah.
again. But we did put up bat houses to watch.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to do that because I'm going to do it all along the perimeter. I'm going to put up bat houses because I do love watching them.
Yeah.
And I hate mosquitoes.
We've seen, like, we have a few that, like, they love to come down, and we've had a few that you can actually see where they'll dive bomb the pool.
Really?
Yeah, because I think they'll get the bugs, like if there's like little bugs and
That
stuff
pop
on
off
the,
it?
yes. But they're like all flurrying around, and I'm like, yes, eat my mosquitoes.
Yes, eat my mosquitoes.
So
Love
fun
our
fact:
bats. Yeah, fun fact.
save your bats
Save your bats
and our bees.
and our bees.
I love our bees. I think we have. It's been 2 years.
In January, we're
Yes.
throwing this out there.
Save the bees. Well, you know what's funny?
We'll
that
remind everyone in April. we kind of digressed.
Save the bees, save the bats. I know. We were really going to talk about relationships, but I don't think we're going to cover that in 4 minutes.
We're not. Was there anything you really wanted? Did you want to do relationship to ourselves, relationship?
All of it. But I just had some information that I wanted to share. It was like calling. It's about the 7 circles of intimacy. So maybe we can get to that next time.
So we have a guest next week. We have a lot of guests in the month of January.
Nice. Let's do a lineup.
So I'll give you a little bit of a lineup. We have Queen Victoria, which is one of my sister-in-law's good friend. She's like a half comedian, half karaoke princess, full-time fabulous woman. She's coming on. I'm trying to get my sister-in-law to come on with
next?
her. No, she's the week after, I believe. But on a week from today, we have Myopic on Main Street coming in. So we have the new owners of Myopic at Main Street coming in at
Oh.
11. So maybe we can do the first hour on relationships. And then we have them coming in
Second hour.
at the second hour. And I don't have a calendar. I'll bring in the...
Nice. That's a cute little store.
It is a really cute little store. I wanted us to go on Monday and take... Bless you.
Excuse me. Sorry, I couldn't
Go
avoid that
through
one.
so we could show, like, do like a little reel about
Oh,
them
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. We could do that.
But they're a fairly new business. The previous owner
Oof. I
passed
paused
away.
when you paused when you said that.
Yep,
Like,
he passed away. So we have the new owners.
yes.
And I was going to ask them, I have these
Trauma
beautiful tortoise glasses that I spent a fortune on at Lens Crafters right before COVID. And they convinced me because I only need them for reading and I have to take my glasses on and off to get bifolds.
Mm.
Is it called? No, not bifolds.
Bifocals.
Bifocals. Not
bifold.
bifolds. Those are doors.
You've been in real estate too long.
I've been in real estate far too long. And I went to them and said, but the line, I can only read one line at a time. And they go, that's all you need to read. I said, but when I'm reading a book, I really have to keep moving my head to get the line to line up.
Yeah.
So she goes, you're not just used to it. So then she sends me home. She goes, come back in a month. You'll be used to it in a month. If not, we'll change them out. So don't we go into COVID and they're closed down? So when they open, I come back in. I'm like, I'm not used to it. She's like, yeah, you're past the whatever day window. And I was like, you just can't change the lenses. They said no. And then they wanted me to buy. I'm like, what's the point of buying the frame if we can't just change the lenses inside?
Right.
So I'm going to ask them that question. I'm going to bring them my glasses.
Unless it's...
But the frames are the most expensive part. Are they not?
I don't know.
I don't know either. We'll ask.
I don't
we'll
know.
get all of that we'll get eye answers for you.
Yeah, that's
Thursday.
actually a good thing. I was thinking because if they have to specifically cut the lens for the glasses.
Maybe.
Because the shape.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know.
We'll figure
I
it out.
don't care if it's Versace or if it's dollar store. It's all, it's plastic tortoiseshell. I mean, how many
Mine
brands?
were Tiffany.
How many brands? Right.
Expensive.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in with us on New Year's Day. We wish you a happy and peaceful 2026, guys. You are listening to Lisa and Robin on the mic on WSMN 1590 AM, 95.3 FM. You can watch, stream, and listen on WSMN.live as well as YouTube. We are so excited for you to be here with us. Thank you for listening.
Yes.
We
focus on
adore
joy
you.
this week.
Yeah. Go have a good week.
Yes.
Until next time.
WSMN 1590, WSMN 95.3 FM Nashua. Listen, watch, and stream at WSMN.live.
USA Radio News, I'm Lance Pry, and a Happy New Year's to you. New York City is now under a Democrat Socialist mayor. Zohran Mamdani took the oath of office using the Quran. This is the mayor's very first job ever. New York City Councilwoman Republican Vicky Palladino on